That's super annoying.
What was that?
It's my charging pad that I have. Oh my god, I hate this thing.
Yeah. That was not a good. That was not a good $400 that you spent.
I did not spend $400 on that.
Sure.
Anyway,
I
welcome
didn't
to
hear
another live taping of the Was It Good podcast. We're going to start in just a second here. As you may have noticed, something's a little different, and that is Arjuna is again not joining us. He is in an undisclosed bunker location in Sweden. Coordinates negative 34.05 by 15.
How'd you get that
22.
visa?
I stole it.
You stole a Swedish safe house visa.
Yep.
Nice. Good for you.
Christian, your mustache is as creepy as it gets.
Well, that's what happens when I try to grow one for 5 days.
See, mine, as you guys may have remembered, I was clean shaven the last time we did this podcast, and in the matter of 3 days, I've got a fully flushed out mustache here. So
yeah,
but you're wearing eyeliner. On your face.
Shut up, just shut up.
You see this? You guys see this? This is a man's mustache.
Well, if you lower your sit up a little bit, your microphone's covering. There you go.
I'm trying to get good audio here because this is a podcast, and a good podcast you have your lips as close to the microphone as possible. So
okay,
this close. This is how close you want to get.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now? I'm basically deep throating the microphone at this point.
that's actually what you're supposed to do.
Oh, and now I have makeup all over the fuzzy thing.
Oh no, you did that to yourself.
You've
done that yourself, Anakin.
You kids ready to go with
timing.
this?
No, but we should start anyway.
Mr. Michael over there on producing station, we recording?
Wow. You can even say
now
please.
recording.
Before we start,
Are we
maybe he's
recording
born
on
with
the,
it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
Real quick, are we recording on the soundboard?
Yeah, why?
Because the audio you sent me was only the second half of the podcast. It was only the last 29 minutes, so I had to master the audio off the Twitch stream.
Shit.
Wait, Michael, are we recording on the Roadcast? Well, this makes everything just a whole lot more fun and awkward.
Real quick, but while we're trying to figure that out, we have a couple of comments here. Naldo123456 says, "Is this a horror podcast? Those mustaches scared me." Ha 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 ha.
You bet your
This
ass.
is a horror podcast.
We are transitioning. We're not really. I wish we could, but we got another comment here from D. Ramgopal. Arjuna, tilt your mic down a bit. Dad is off-stream
Don't
producing.
tell me what to do, Dad.
Dad is producing. Dad, this is your first time producing, I feel. Arjuna's a little frozen. He seems to be back. Arjuna, you are frozen. I like the part, by the way, in your hair.
Thank you.
I wish I could grow a part, but grow
bald.
apart. Get it?
I
wish
feel
I could
like
grow
you
apart.
and I
from
have
you.
grown apart.
I know. Michael, we have grown apart.
We are recording, so we're going to go ahead and start.
I
Those
can-
watching, as
Okay.
always, fill up the comments with weird things.
Oh no,
Weird
Naldo,
things?
Naldo, no need to apologize. That was a great comment. We're big fans of that. So
Yeah, we love
keep them
being
coming.
hazed.
No, keep them coming. We did this to ourselves. Let's be honest.
That is very true. All right, here we go. Hello and welcome to a very important episode of Was It Good? We, of course, are talking about the season finale of WandaVision. I'm Ravi, and I'm joined by my two brothers, Christian and Arjuna, and our other brother, who isn't related by blood, but is related by tears, Mr. Michael, on the producing station. Let's dive right in because I have a lot of feelings.
You do?
No, I don't, actually. I have two feelings.
Oh, two feelings.
Yeah, sober,
That's a
and,
lot.
sober and then drunk. That's it.
Wait, you're both of those right now? 'Cause
No,
that's impressive.
I mean, is that a feeling? I guess it's not.
Being sober.
That's not a feeling at all.
It's
That's in the
more
absence
than a
of,
feeling.
It's a state of being.
It's a state. Wow, Juna, getting philosophical on us.
Yes.
So
we
which-
I
haven't
am a philosopher.
we haven't even started in WandaVision, and he's getting philosophical about what is being and not being. Wow, good segue, Arjun. Great
What
segue.
is WandaVision?
I'll do you one better. When is WandaVision?
I'll do you one better. Why is WandaVision?
I'll do you one better.
No.
Let's obviously season finale. The big Disney Plus Marvel event of the last 8 weeks. The thing that we have been looking forward to, maybe in a good, maybe in a bad way some weeks. The thing that's kind of really tied us together as siblings. A show about a woman who is grieving has come to an end and has kind of kicked off the start of maybe a new phase in the cinematic universe.
Maybe.
Actually,
I think definitely.
That's exactly what it
this
did.
is legitimately the first thing in what they dub as Phase 4 of the MCU.
Yeah, Rob, you didn't have to. You got to be more assertive with that. That's exactly what they did.
no, I like playing like the in between. Like maybe it is a new thing, maybe it won't be.
That's fair.
Who knows?
That's fair.
We're very declarative on this podcast, so I declare.
Ooh,
I declare. Everybody do your best. I declare.
I do declare. I say. I'm gonna sit on you.
But before we kind of get into weird impressions, let's do our one-word impressions.
Oh yeah.
To kind of recap this episode.
Yeah.
And I'm going to change it up a little bit here, guys. You can, if you want to, your one-word impression can be about this episode, the season finale, or it can be about the entire season. And the reason I say that is because
/show.
/show.
I believe the title was called Series Finale.
Series finale, yes.
Shit.
Series finale. So yeah, your one-word impression can be about the episode or about the entire series as a whole. I presented it that way because I want to go first.
Sure.
And my one word is going to cover both the episode and the season, and that is frustrated.
Frustrated.
You
are not alone, I think, from all the comments I have seen on the interwebs.
I feel like there is not necessarily a 50-50 split, but there's a split.
Yes.
Definitely. And I want to preface this real quick by I know that this is my own fault.
Yeah.
Like I know that I'm frustrated because I read all the crazy theories. I went back and rewatched things. I read comics because of this show, which maybe is a good thing.
You can read?
Yeah, guys, I can read.
I actually have a counter to your point, though.
I'm not done with my point, so
okay.
Shit.
maybe wait till I'm done.
Whoa.
Fake mustache.
Hey, my mustache is thicker than your real one, so boom.
Well, it's not because it's literally flat and a makeup pen.
Yes, but the camera can't tell. Anywho, frustrated is the word I want to use to kind of recap the whole episode because, like I said, it was the season as a whole started off kind of weird, got interesting, then kind of got annoying, and then we got this episode, which felt rushed. The CG, as I always complain, just was not there. It was not interesting, and the bigger thing is there felt like there could have been so many other things that could have been done, and I know that the point of the show is not to throw in a billion little Easter eggs that can connect to this gigantic spiderweb. I understand that, but again, it has caused me to feel frustrated with the show, with myself, the whole shebang.
Wow.
Couple follow-ups to your points. First, on the CGI, it wasn't just not interesting; it was bad.
I said it was bad.
It was. Well, you said it was not interesting, or you said you had an issue with it and it was interesting. But I would go as far to say it was some of the worst CGI we've seen in Marvel.
Would you say it was dog shit?
Yes, I would. Especially we kept talking about the $225 million they pumped into the show. There's probably better CGI on the Sci-Fi Channel than what we got.
Have you all seen Battlestar Galactica? That sci-fi, that CGI, that holds up. I'm totally fucking with you,
okay.
but
Because I haven't seen it recently.
And then the other thing, you said it was your fault about your expectations, but I would say Marvel is not entirely free to blame here. They dropped a lot of breadcrumbs in this show, in this season. There was the entire multiple episode arc of my engineer friend is coming that turned out to be nobody. There are many of those type of red herrings that, as we've talked about before, Marvel loves to kind of pepper into these shows, into their movies, and they peppered into these shows, and they fell flat. The Quicksilver is another big one where they had Evan Peters, and the guy turns out to literally be a boner.
Ralph Boner.
So So I think expectations is always the thing you have to be careful with, but Marvel certainly took advantage of a lot of people's expectations, and I think unfairly in their show, especially with what they delivered.
I have a counter to your counter.
Wait,
Yes.
you both are agreeing with each other.
No, of course. I mean, but this is what siblings do.
Yeah, that's true.
They
That's
fight for no reason.
Yeah.
My counter to the expectations portion is, I think it's not all fans. You know, like with Marvel
for sure.
and with any of these like big cinematic universes, Star Wars, all that. You know, you have the casual fan. You know, you have the person that just kind of throws it on because everyone's talking about it. You have the hardcore nerd that's got all the comics and knows all the arcs inside and out. And I think it's really like the hardcore nerds that they kind of upset. Not even necessarily upset, but like I was talking, I was on Clubhouse with a couple of people earlier and we were talking about this, and I was like, the whole thing with Quicksilver, somebody knew, like they knew what they were doing, right? They purposely put this person
100%.
there. And at the end of the day, what it feels like it's trolling and it feels cruel. Like it feels
you stole my one word. You stole my one word.
Oh shit, sorry.
No, you didn't. No,
This is a
keep going.
perfect transition. Perfect
Yeah.
transition.
Christian's one word is cruel. Take it over. Take it over.
My one word impression is trolls, because this show, for good or bad, had two epic level trolls as the leads of the show, and whether it was intentional or not, what they said in certain interviews, now that we are done, in my opinion, can only be looked at as trolling, like professional level trolling, a Luke level cameo, and then of course Paul Bettany's. You're never gonna see this cameo coming.
The one thing,
I mean, I applaud them. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I applaud them. Like, well done. But also, that ties directly into your one-word impression
Right,
of frustrated.
the other thing though, I will say, I don't know if it's a professional troll job, because when Paul Bettany said that comment of, I'm very excited to work with this actor,
Yeah.
he did almost immediately, I think the following day or whatever, say maybe I should not have said that.
Yeah.
I think he was making a joke.
Yes, he
and
clearly was.
and he took it too far. But then I feel like that's on like the PR folks. Like they are supposed to be kind of wrangling the actors and kind of feeding them what they should and shouldn't be saying. Like there should be some kind of like gatekeeping essentially there to make sure that they're not saying.
Do we think this wasn't Marvel's plan all along though? Like they're so coordinated in what they do. Like they've literally weaponized, well not weaponized, but they've utilized
Jesus Christ.
But they've utilized like Mark Ruffalo and Tom Holland's like leaks as ways to promote their movies. I mean,
That's
look
just
at the
smart.
Spider-Man title. Like they literally used that to market the movie.
I mean, it's good marketing.
So
That's good
can't-
marketing.
I can't imagine that like Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany both just went rogue and just dropped those lines. Like I think that is part of the marketing and PR machine, and it was all coordinated, and this is what they wanted, and I think it blew up in their face.
I don't know it again. I think some of it has been coordinated. I don't think all of it is coordinated, and I think part of that you can see in the last week, where you've had like Paul Bettany was on GMA, kind of backtracking and being like, hey, they're gonna be really annoyed when they realize the cameo is me, like basically prepping. And the director of the episode was like, your expectations way too high, bring them down a notch. Like I think
Director nailed it.
Yeah, I think that they had to do kind of like almost like a cleanup towards the end.
Yeah. Damage control.
Damage control, yeah.
Sure.
Oh, that was supposed to be a spin-off for Marvel.
was.
Like Damage Control or like
It's called Marvel's Damage Control.
yeah.
And the elements
Basically,
were utilized in Homecoming.
yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know if it's a full like. A part of me wants to think that there is like this weird, crazy mastermind plan where it's like this tweet will go out this time, and then these are the possibilities, and then
No.
I don't think
No.
that that's happening,
It's
unfortunately.
like these people are human, so
Yeah,
they're allowed. They are prone and are allowed to make human mistakes, or maybe not even mistakes. Just they'll say something when we interpret it a certain way. That's not on them for us to.
Well, yeah, maybe it's not planned to a T, but you don't think that Marvel's telling them to, hey, drop some hints, get people excited in these interviews. I mean, that's the point of these interviews. That's why they have them go on GMAs and do these interviews and stuff to build the hype. And again, on this, keep self-referencing our podcast, but on this very podcast, we talked about how little buzz there was around this show right before it came out. And then some of these quotes started dropping, and then some of the anticipation builds. And then there's these breadcrumbs and these lines that are in there that people get excited for. And you really saw the second half of the show, like the excitement was much greater than the first few weeks. And that helped. All of the line pointing and the little red herrings and the hints helped, but it helped build up the anticipation for the show. But then when it came to the actual final product, I think it fell flat.
Yeah.
So how would you sum up in one word the episode and or season?
Or both?
I would for both. To me, the one word is Marvel. This is no, but this is the Marvel formula, right? Everyone wants to talk about, and I've heard a lot of positive things about this show, and it's actually been a little bit annoying to me because people are like, "This is a great show. This is like really good Marvel stuff," and like, when you really look at this show, it's just typical Marvel. It follows the typical Marvel formula. It has the red herrings. If this was a movie, it would be a very typical Marvel type of movie. And that's what it is. It's just Marvel. And Ravi, I think you said this like our first episode or the episode we did before. It's like you only watch these ththings for the end credits because literally nothing else really matters that happens in the show. It's just the connective tissue to get to the next thing. But if you, I mean, that's kind of true. Like, especially with this show, it's just kind of like, you're not wrong.
No, and that's the thing. This episode, I think, did it perfectly. Like, I think your one word sums up the episode perfectly. I don't know about the season, but for the episode, it was definitely like, it starts and you're like, okay, cool, fight. Oh, this person can fight. Okay, cool. More fighting. Oh, government's involved. Oh, government's bad. Oh, Hayward actually is a dickhead. You know, I'll admit I was wrong there.
Yeah.
Clearly wasn't doing it for the safety of America, so fuck that guy.
He pointed a gun at a kid. Like,
yeah, exactly. Fuck that guy. I figured out he was the bad guy. It took me a while. It's cool.
they had to make him cartoony.
But you're right. Like, at a certain point in the episode, I think like maybe 15, 20 minutes in, I was like, okay, cool. So where are the cameos? How's this setting up the next thing? Let's just hurry up and get to the end. Like, it wasn't anymore. It wasn't enjoyable at that point, unfortunately. It was like, okay, cool. We're at the end. And it definitely, like, when you go from episode 8 to episode 9, they feel almost like two different shows. Because episode 8 is this kind of cool, like, self-discovery, looking back at your own history, like really good acting, very interesting, beautiful visuals. And then this episode's like, cool, kapow, bang, pow, whack, kaboom, fight, explosion.
I mean, in the show's defense, we knew exactly.
We didn't call
what
this
episode. Everyone,
Of
everyone
course.
in that moment,
No,
that
of
was the episode
course,
we're gonna-
of course,
We were calling
of
this
course.
episode after episode 1.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's like it's nothing surprising here.
I will say this: the episode lost me, like in the. I mean, yeah, it certainly like wasn't great as it was going on, but where I really lost it was when they're having the fight. And Catherine Hahn, like, she did great in this series as a whole and was really funny. But the typical Marvel thing where she's like getting her powers drained and she's just like, I was just like, oh, kill me! This is awful.
In terms of like big, you know, villain versus superhero Marvel fights, and we've seen a shit ton, right, over
Really
the
bad.
past 10+ years. Where do you rank this? Like, is this Iron Man 3 level? Is this
don't
like
remember
Ant
Iron
Man? That's the tricky part. Is like there's also like Thor 2 with him and Christopher Eccleston. There's a whole thing I can barely remember what happens there, but like. This is pretty like low in terms of like really good fight.
But this is this crosses universes and goes to the DCEU.
Oh,
It's up there with Ares and Wonder Woman and being just a CGI nightmare.
Wow.
And just us like just
Real quick, I gotta read this comment because it's pretty good. It's on twitch.tv/wasitgood from Lauren WW. It's like getting a Christmas sweater for Christmas when you wanted a Baby Yoda toy. Sentimental, sure, but you're like, what am I supposed to do with this? I think that's pretty good. It's pretty good.
That's a good way to wrap it up. Yeah,
and I think that's how a lot of people feel. at least on some level.
No, I'd like. I think the big thing here is like we don't obviously for our listeners we're not going to spend the entire pod just shitting on everything. There were definitely some interesting, really good parts.
Absolutely.
We haven't done this in a while, but I kind of want to hear everyone's favorite part.
Yeah, I think we're going to have the same favorite part, to be honest.
Well, I'll kick it off. Mine is Bettany versus Bettany, so Hex Vision versus White Vision. Their fight CGI wise was kind of garbage, but what was interesting, what stood out was the discussion that they had towards the end. The only thing that annoyed me a little bit at the end was he just boots, and he's gone, and it kind of makes sense.
Marvel formula,
it disappears, has you wondering. But that would be my favorite part of the whole thing.
That's also my favorite, but just in the interest of saying something different, I will say at the end of the show when Wanda and Vision are saying goodbye, I mean, to me, that is probably the most emotional moment in all of Marvel. I felt something. I don't think anything else Marvel has done.
You sure it wasn't the Carl's Jr. you got last night?
No, because I rewatched it this morning, and I felt even more like emotional.
Wow!
I was like, they nailed that moment. I thought they nailed it, and I would put that as like the most emotional moment I think Marvel has ever done, and they nailed it. And say what you will, that did take the previous 8 episodes building
to build
up
it up,
that. And actually go beyond that. Before that, it took Age of Ultron when Vision's first introduced and Wanda's first introduced, and they have that moment when he saves her, and it builds all the way up through those other movies. And I thought that was a great goodbye for those two characters. At least that iteration of Vision, like her memory of Vision. So I thought that was, I might change it. That was the strongest part of the episode.
There you go. Nice.
Yeah.
Jen, did you have a favorite part, or did you turn it off and crawl in a ball and cry?
I will say my favorite part was the beginning of the mid and after credit scene, because I had a little bit of hope that they might have cameos or like really like push the narrative forward or something, and then I was immediately crushed by both of them.
Wait, how is that your favorite part? Wait, I'm confused.
Is my favorite part because I felt the most, excited at that very moment.
Also, the hope
at the beginning, as soon as I saw them, right?
Wow!
I had that hope, and then I saw the mid-credit scene, and I was
disappointed. So when Monica's taken to the theater, real quick, did anyone when I first saw that? I screamed out, and Nick Fury's gonna jump out, but like, come join the fucking Avengers.
Close enough.
Yeah, it was like it felt like the exact same.
He's on the ship that she's pointing to, right?
It was the D-list level version of that.
No,
I don't know about that. Monica Rambeau's pretty badass. Like
no. I mean, they didn't actually get Samuel L. Jackson, so they just used Skrull, like
Rando
Skrull to do it instead of actually getting Samuel, which is sad. But. So, yeah, I would say the hopes of it was crushed. And then I was like, is there another scene? And then I saw that there was. And I was like, oh, maybe this scene will be better. And then that wasn't better either. And
man. Real quick, just to go off of that, though, don't you get the feeling, do you remember when you watched Age of Ultron the first time? The movie is, it is what it is. It's not until you have
all this other content,
all the other stuff, and you go back and you realize just how much it's set up. You don't realize it while you're watching it. I just feel like with this show, so go if you're, because obviously we're Marvel fans, so we're always looking beyond what the actual story is. I feel like there's going to be that. Obviously, we already know there is. There's obviously huge implications from this show, such as Catherine, Agnes, Agatha. She's coming back. The 2 kids, they're coming back in some way, shape, or form. Like, I think this show is going to have huge ripples across the Marvel universe going forward. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. This was not slated to be the first.
No,
show,
the first show was supposed to be. So originally, it was supposed to be. The Black Widow film, and then Falcon Winter Soldier was supposed to roll out.
Yeah.
And then this was supposed to come out, and then immediately or shortly after it came out, you would get Doctor Strange. Instead, we have to now wait a year.
I think it was supposed to go Black Widow, and then it was actually supposed to go Eternals. And then it was supposed to go Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and then WandaVision. But it's just supposed to be like the 4th thing in the MCU.
Yeah, that's super interesting. And obviously it was because of COVID. Was it because of COVID that they?
Yeah, COVID unfortunately, because of the scale of COVID, it adjusted a lot of things.
So my question is, and maybe there's no way to know this, or maybe they've already said something, like. Now that WandaVision came out first in this new phase, before those other things, did they have to rearrange things? Are there going to be like time discrepancies? Like is Winter Soldier?
Well, let's talk real quick about just discrepancies in general. So the book, where is it? The Darkhold? Is that the book's name?
Darkhold.
The Darkhold book, right? So this is like the Book of the Dead. It's the book from hell. Mm-hmm. This book is evil. This isn't the first time this book has been mentioned in a Marvel property. Oh. It was first mentioned in a couple times in Agents of S.W.O.R.D.
Oh, okay.
The ABC Marvel thing. We'll just call it the thing. Mm-hmm. Ghost Rider actually takes the book to hell in like season 4. But the problem is people are like, wait, did the book just get retconned? There's confusion because the book in the show looks different from this book. It's implied in the it's implied in WandaVision that Agatha had the book since like the 1600s. So if she had the book, how did it end up in Agent of S.W.O.R.D.? Is it a different book?
Right.
What is a book? Just so many questions.
Yeah.
I think the answer is pretty simple.
A book is a thing with pages. Thank you.
No, they don't care about Agents of S.W.O.R.D. or Runaways or any of the previous shows that they previously said was part of the MCU. I think it's all just in a bubble universe that maybe got written out when they did their time reset, and they can just explain away that way.
I'm okay with it only because I never watched those shows, so it would be nice if.
And I don't think a lot of people did.
Right.
It's a smaller subsection of the fans, so it's easier to wave it away versus
totally
like if you waved away like Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess, and then the other question that's sort of related to all this, because there's a Hawkeye show. What was the point of Agent, Jimmy, calling Cliff?
He called Clint.
Clint.
He didn't
Which
call.
is not Cliff.
Oh.
Yeah, he didn't call
Thank
him
you.
at all. Yeah.
Okay, so that was driving me nuts.
Yeah. So I was reading though. I forget which article. Somebody posted being like the introduction of there being a Cliff.
Yeah.
Could be like this big, weird Nick Fury tie-in story.
Okay.
But again, based on everything that we've seen this past season,
let's not.
I'm just gonna assume it's a dude from the Bureau named Cliff, and that's
just
perfectly
a name that
okay.
A writer came up with. It's nothing more.
It's nothing more.
And that is Ralph Boner.
That's a-okay.
As cool as like Jimmy and Darcy's characters were, and it was like nice to see familiar faces. Like their characters were kind of just pointless at the end of the day within the larger narrative of the story. They were just kind of like supporting characters, and Darcy doesn't even show up at like she crashes into the truck, and then they're just like
she has one line. She has one line.
She left. Yeah, and then they're like she left. She didn't want to deal with the red tape, and it's just so weird, like how those characters were handled. To be completely honest, like they kind of made a big deal of like Jimmy calling the cops, and then like he called them, and he comes in at the end and arrests them. But it's like, is that even really? Are those scenes needed then? Like if like that's like nothing really.
Well, like we know,
those types of those things at the end.
Like we know though, so Marvel, is always setting up the next thing. So it clearly they're going to be involved in S.W.O.R.D, which is going to be something that's going to be around for Marvel. So it's good to introduce those characters, get to know them, see their quirks. It
is good because like Darcy's going to be in Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
I don't think that's been confirmed. Because I think the last interview they did with Kat Denning, she was like, "I haven't heard. I'd love to be, but I haven't heard anything." And then Jimmy Woo Randall Park hasn't been confirmed for Ant-Man 3 either.
That's because he's busy with S.W.O.R.D now.
Well, no, he's still Bureau. He's still FBI.
Oh, right. Yeah, but I mean, he's now worked with S.W.O.R.D, so that's an easy way to pull him in.
And S.W.O.R.D needs a new leader.
Yep. And
Marty
looks good on him.
I think Monica Rambeau would make more sense than.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it would be kind of nice for Wu to take over like S.W.O.R.D. I mean, he's dealt with so much of this like weird superhero stuff.
Yeah.
And he has magic.
Tricks. So
like real magic though, not the fake magic like Sorcerer Supreme and Scarlet Witch, like real card magic. Gambit.
Real,
I'm gonna hold on to that forever.
real quick, because there was obviously there's a bunch of other things to kind of discuss here, all not necessarily all negative, but Arjuna, does do a fantastic job of our DVD listing, DVD chapter listing, and Christian also does an equally fantastic job of reading them. He's going to be reading this DVD chapter listing in the voice of Dora the Explorer.
I don't know what she sounds like.
Just be really happy and sound like a
I'm gonna do
a
what
girl.
I assume she sounds.
Sound like a girl, but be really happy.
Okay. Choose your fighter. I want to suck your magic.
Oh boy, that did not work in our favor at all.
I am a machine. Boner's bone dude. Oh.
Dodo.
Kill the children. Costume change. Goodbye, Vision forever. Just kidding. 2000th scroll tease. Doctor Strange 2 Wanda madness. I don't know what that turned into.
I don't know either.
That was like a little twang.
I probably should have checked this first.
Yes.
But I enjoyed. It was a happy surprise. Happy surprise.
What was that happy?
Happy surprise
that's
right
not
there.
Happy at all.
It was good.
It was weird and uncomfortable.
Arjun, I think the one title you got in here that kind of nails it is the Goodbye Vision Forever. Just kidding.
Yeah.
And I want to tie this back into the book real quick, the Darkhold. So, a bunch of characters died in Endgame, right? Like,
yeah.
Some big name characters, they're dead, right? And the real world, when one passes, you don't come back. That's life. In a comic book movie, no.
You always come back.
You come back in multiple different ways. Vision obviously has come back as this Hex Vision thing. He does have a very beautiful line at the end where he's like, I was a voice, then I had a body, and now I'm like, now you made me out of a thought or a memory.
Yeah.
How else can I come back? And then obviously there's now this new white vision flying around with the memories, perhaps maybe not the feelings associated with those memories,
right.
Which creates, in my opinion, something new. But obviously, with them having this, or her having that Darkhold book, part of that Darkhold book, I'm not sure if you guys are aware, there are spells in there about bringing things back from the dead, i.e. a Black Widow, an Iron Man, or perhaps de-aging a Captain America.
Oh, shit.
The Heimdall.
Or Heimdall.
What a random character to just remember. Heimdall.
I don't
get
think
me wrong, that's
Idris
awesome.
Elba is the best character in the MCU.
Well, I won't go that far, but
he's a cool character.
Oh, he's great. He's great. Don't get me wrong.
But are you guys? Do you guys want characters to stay dead in a comic book movie, or are you okay with this? Well, we've got a magic book now. Hey, Black Widow, you're back on the team.
Well, so
I'd like it to stick a little longer than 2
season?
years.
2 years.
Yeah, just like have some consequences and let it stick. And I don't think you need to bring every single character back.
They
Like,
won't.
I do think, and yeah, I don't think they will. Like Wanda, there's no love lost for Tony Stark. She doesn't, she's not particularly close to him. Like, even though they resolved some of their issues, like his missile still killed her family. So I don't think she's going to be like, who
That's
should
the
I
guy.
bring back? I know.
Tony.
Tony.
Oh man. Yeah.
And I think, I think Marvel has to be careful. And it kind of reminds me of the Arrowverse. Rab, you be familiar when they did when they did Ra's al Ghul, and they had the water, the healing water that would bring characters back.
Oh, the pit. Yes.
Yeah, the pit, the Lazarus
That was
pit.
the Lazarus pit. That wasn't. Yeah, the Lazarus pit is a very annoying thing in the DC.
So like
universe.
no one can. I'll just bring any character to the Lazarus pit, and they can come back. It's fine. Like you have to find a way to limit those types of things. So I imagine that probably bringing back someone from the dead is a powerful thing, and then she's gonna maybe try and do that, and that's what's gonna lead into Doctor Strange 2, where she, obviously that's what the post credit scene was setting up. She's learning more and more magic, and they even name drop. They don't name drop Doctor Strange by his name, Doctor Strange, but they obviously name drop him by the Sorcerer Supreme. So a lot of connective tissue there.
I'm pretty excited for Doctor Strange. I'm not gonna lie, because like Wanda has like been set up to be like pretty uber powerful now. Like when you say that she's got her powers are greater than that of the Sorcerer Supreme, like if it does go the way where it sets up her to be either an antagonist or the main antagonist for Doctor Strange, that should be pretty exciting.
That's definitely going to be interesting. And I think the other thing, too, is the Sorcerer Supreme Doctor Strange, I don't think he's aware of that book. Because a lot of people are claiming, and I don't know how much foresight they had, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are claiming that potentially that book, it comes from the Sorcerer Supreme's residence.
Yeah, because it does.
It does.
Yeah.
I mean, there's an empty.
Sure.
book,
But
slot,
again, I don't know if that was pre-planned that far in advance.
I think like a lot of Marvel things, it was just kind of like, here, plot point, the book isn't there. We'll figure out later exactly where it is. And I think that's kind of the Marvel formula. Everyone's like, they have stuff figured out, but I think they play stuff loose enough where it's like, we can figure this out later. Like Vision flying off, I don't think they know exactly what he's going to do next, but it's open-ended enough where like you can go in multiple directions with it, right?
He's gonna go nuke the S.W.O.R.D facility.
Oh boy. unless he's gonna show up in one of these shows that have already been done, right?
Yeah.
Unless they literally have already filmed him, right, in some of that other stuff.
Here we go. Ready? Falcon Winter Soldier opening scene. The White Vision drops down, and then says, "Hey, Falcon, hey."
And then the whole season is like a poker tournament,
basically. I'd watch that.
That'd
be cool.
What if the plot? What if one of the main plot points is Falcon and Winter Soldier are told by the government to look for the White Vision?
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Well, I don't think they're part of the government, right? They have always been against the Sokovia Accord, so
that's true.
Yeah, but you would think though, we're not exactly sure where that whole thing stands after half the world gets wiped away.
Well, no, they're still in play because remember, Jimmy Woo brings up the Sokovia Accords. Like he even recites a chapter. So the Sokovia Accords are like
they're still
the law for a lot of these government agencies. So I don't think it's like one of those things where it's like, cool, you saved the world. I still believe they're there. Yeah. They have been heavily modified, but they are there to some degree. Speaking of Sokovia Accords, let's real quick shift gears to Wanda and what she did to the people of Westview. Now, she entrapped these people. Krishna, you kind of went a little bit of a hot rant earlier. Yeah. So I'm going to throw the mic to you.
Okay.
I'd like you to bring back up what you said because I completely agree with you. Yeah. So take it away.
Can you throw your mic to him? You said
catch.
Throw the mic. I want you to throw it.
Yeah. No. There's just one line that really bothered me by Monica Rambeau to Wanda at the end. She says, they'll never know what you sacrificed for them in terms. And so I took that to assume that Wanda gave up her family and Vision to free the people of Westview. The reason that bothers me is because the only reason that they're in that situation in the first place for Wanda to save them is because she trapped them. Now, she didn't know what she was doing. She didn't know the limits of her power. But to me, it's just like that's the wrong... That just doesn't strike me as something that you tell a hero.
She's not. Here's the other thing too. She's not a hero at this point.
I'm not a hero.
Like, lock her up. I get. And here's the thing. I totally understand. She's grieving. Okay. But in the real world, you don't take your grieving out on innocent people. And that's what she did. She took them hostage, whether she was in complete control or not. The fact that she wasn't in control of her powers is worse. Like, I am all pro Sokovia Accords in this sense because I do.
Team Tony.
Yeah, I would not want to be one of those poor people in Westview living out this like multi-week hellhole, not knowing when it's going to end.
Yeah,
like the one of the shots that were very distinct in this episode, and they did a really good job, is when she's walking and everyone's looking at her with just pure and utter disgust.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Because of what she caused, what she did to them.
Yeah.
So lock her up.
And the fact that there's no consequences, right? Like she's just able to freely walk away. Like
well, who's going to stop her? There's nobody who could stop her. Yeah, like no one. There's the only person who could potentially stop her is maybe Doctor Strange, and God knows where he is, right?
Yeah,
right.
For the Sorcerer Supreme, he's doing a real shit job of like maintaining magic on Earth and like making sure shit isn't going completely bonkers.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Why did he show up to deal with this at some point?
Seriously, like isn't he supposed to be able to detect magic?
Scheduling, man.
Say again.
Scheduling.
Scheduling.
Maybe
Could
he's
be.
maybe he's
Could-
off world.
could be scheduling.
Maybe he's dealing with the whatever his show is going to be
Dormammu.
about. Maybe he's already started.
He's come to bargain.
Dormammu? He's still doing the 10 million meetings with
That
Dormammu.
that is easily the best part of Doctor Strange. Just the hilarity of the climax where
Dormammu,
he
I've come to bargain.
Dormammu, I've come to bargain, and he just keeps dying over and over again. It was hilarious.
Yeah, I wish. Yeah, that's a whole different discussion. Never mind. What were we talking about?
Just about we should lock up.
Oh.
Yeah, we should lock up Wanda.
Yeah. I mean,
Also,
it
clearly,
doesn't matter if you want. That's what you want. There's no one to lock
it's
her
not
up.
going to happen.
Yeah.
But it should, because again, what she did is the reasoning is terrible. I understand that, but the act is still evil.
Here's the thing about comic book characters and heroes, though. They're
Yeah.
not all heroes. You have anti-heroes and you have villains. She has a nice arc.
Middle
She has a nice arc where she starts out as
villain.
pseudo-villain,
Yep.
hero. Now she's an anti-hero. She has quite a nice progression here, and I like that it's not a redemption. It seems to be almost like a tragedy. It's a tragedy, really.
Yeah.
She started off here, she went here, and now she's down here.
Yep.
Right, and that's like a tragic arc, that's cool. That's different than any other character in Marvel. So that's to me that's a strength. That's we're mad at it, and maybe that's a good thing. We're emotionally involved in what happens to her.
No, of course. That's good writing. That's good character development.
Yeah. And also, that if she is being set up to be this anti-villain, and then down the road she could become full villain, she's going to be the best Marvel villain there is, because
Probably,
she has this rich backstory.
She may be more.
And you
We used to
understand
root
why.
for her.
Yeah,
You
she.
understand why.
Yeah, you understand why
Yeah.
she could. Yeah, potentially be the greatest villain, better than Thanos.
Yeah.
But yeah, because you get that entire backstory.
Yeah, and you
Better
understand
than
why.
Hayward.
Yeah, and speaking of Hayward,
Hayward.
let's go back to my boy Hayward, because I will say this.
You still claim him as your boy?
I believe what he was doing was for the interest of American safety and the safety of mankind. But it turned out, he basically kind of triggered her, or wanted to trigger her. The way I understood it, he wanted to obtain some of her power in order to power up their new, white vision robot killing machine that was easily turned within, 30 seconds. Feels very flawed there.
It's the second most laughable plot device in the finale.
But again, how did he have a tracking device on Hex Vision? Still don't understand that.
There's a lot of plot holes with that. There's a lot of plot holes.
And killing the Scarlet Witch and destroying Vision and freeing these people. Why? What was that gonna do? Why? I guess why did he have to murder the Scarlet Witch, Wanda?
Also, how did they
She's
have
too
the
powerful.
information? How did they know that her magic was going to be able to revitalize the Vision?
Are you real
They
quick?
didn't.
Just to back up for a second. Are you asking Ravi why Hayward was trying to kill Scarlet Witch?
Yes.
For the exact same reason that you were saying lock her up.
Oh, so he is my boy.
He's
Well, no.
scared
Never
of
mind.
her.
I'm a Hayward
Yeah.
fan again.
Yeah. But think about what you just said, right? She
Yeah.
needs to pay for what she did.
Right.
Well, that's what Hayward's trying to do. No,
But he
his
never
methods were horrible.
says that.
He
It's
doesn't
never-
need to say it. Why would he need to say it? It's shown to us. You have to imply it, right? You don't need it spelled out for you.
I'm sorry. As Ozymandias says in the Watchmen comics, what am I, a superhero villain where I'm going to explain my plan? Yes, it's a comic book movie. You need to explain your fucking plan.
No. So the motivation and the methods are murky.
Right.
But at the end of the day, there was a whole town in New Jersey that called Westview that was being held against their will, and whether Wanda's a good guy, bad guy, or she can't control the process, doesn't matter. You still need to help those people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, was he doing it to actually help them, or was it for own personal gain? Well, I guess that's what you're asking, is why was he doing what he was doing? Was it to help those people? Was it to establish White Vision as the most powerful thing on the planet? We don't know.
Basically,
I
why?
guess- and I understand that frustration.
Basically, why Gamora?
Well, yeah, why Gamora? Yeah, you're
Same
right.
thing.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
Yeah, it
What
was.
is she up to right now?
So yeah, it was pretty poorly explained, or just one of those laughable things, almost as laughable as the Monica Ralph Boner thing, where to get him off the control of Agatha, she knocked his necklace off, and then
But
he
she
was.
could see it.
She saw
That's
it
why.
with her powers.
I know, but it was still hilariously lame.
Yeah, it was funny. It was a boner.
I wouldn't say it was funny.
Where's
I
your
just say
joy, Arjuna? I just
stupid.
want to say this was an excellent show.
He's referring.
is our producer.
That's our producer. And he's referring to this podcast. Cut his mic. Cut his mic. Cut his mic.
Absolutely. Was it good is excellent. Keep watching.
Appreciate that. Yeah. Real quick though, with the Ralph boner. So obviously Ralph is who Agnes was referring to the whole show, right? Her husband,
Yes. Who
So-
actually owned the house.
Yeah. Who owned that house, right?
Yep.
So I mean, I feel like Monica was a little bit underutilized. A little bit. She was definitely underutilized in this
Completely.
episode because all she ended up doing with her powers was absorbing some bullets, and
Well,
that was, and then dealing with Ralph.
To be real quick, that one scene shows who she is as a person.
Yeah.
She ran into gunfire not knowing she had those powers. Per
Okay.
se. Like she didn't know the extent of her powers.
I like that. I like that you just redeemed that whole thing.
Yeah,
Thank
that
you.
entire thing kind of shows me that's what like honestly
that was for.
honestly I was telling our producer Michael this before we started. Monica is probably like out of the entire show
Yeah.
was one of the more like to me interesting
Absolutely.
enjoyable things to see.
Yeah.
Like I was very excited when she was on screen because she gave us information. She's super badass. Something's happening to her. Her entire backstory is that of tragedy as well. Real quick, her backstory is tragic. She lost her mom during the blip. Didn't get to say goodbye. None of that shit. You don't see her going and fucking taking a city hostage.
Well, her powers don't allow her to do that.
Oh, I'm sorry. So
She did say she had the line. She had the line. If she had the powers, she would bring back her mom. She says that. Anyone
that doesn't mean taking a city hostage.
if some people and you thankfully none of us have experienced that loss,
Right.
But if you had the chance to bring back someone that you love and you know that tramples on some people's toes, I think more people than not might take it.
True. But
So-
remember,
so-
as Uncle Ben said to Spider-Man,
That's true.
you know, with greatness
Power.
comes power.
Yeah, I
Now,
think that's
with
how he
great
said
power
it.
comes great responsibility. Which
No, I wanted
we
to
could
fuck
put
it
the
up.
money. We could put the money down now that Tobey Maguire will say that to young Tom Holland in Spider-Man.
How much?
No Way.
I'm gonna say it doesn't
And then
happen.
Andrew Garfield said, "Shut the fuck up."
Yeah. But he does it in a British accent. And everyone's like, "What the fuck?"
No, but I will say this about Monica. So, you know, we obviously had the tease at the end of the Skrulls. We know that she's going to be in Captain Marvel 2. What do we think her role is? Do we, you know, how do we think she's going to be kind of implemented into the movie? Do we think she's going to be a big piece of the movie? Do we think she's going to be supporting? How do we? Think
I'm gonna give a hot take that probably will get me canceled. She's gonna be the most interesting thing of Captain Marvel 2, and hopefully,
Why would that get you canceled?
she replaces Captain Marvel.
Why would that get you canceled? I think a lot of people feel that way.
I'm just saying. I don't like the current Captain Marvel. It's not interesting.
She has not been explored deeply enough yet, and hopefully future iterations will develop her character.
Just
But
have
I
her-
agree with you. I do not hold out
Just
hope.
have her like
do not hold
stay deep in the galaxy and do her own thing over there.
Shows
That's
up
fine.
every once in a
Well,
while.
I mean, Maria is she does become a version of Captain Marvel in the comics.
Exactly. So
Monica?
like, yeah. Just
Yeah,
replace
Monica,
her.
but not
Replace
Monica.
Yeah.
replace Captain Marvel like super quick. It's fine. It's okay.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone will notice.
Well,
Maybe.
yeah. No, but yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Let's bump back into our bold predictions. This is our fun section where we all made insane things and some things came true and some things didn't come true. Krishna,
Yeah.
we'll start with yours, your episode 9 and then your season long bold prediction. Krishna's for episode 9 said Magneto will save Scarlet Witch from being killed by Vision. That did not happen, but real quick, Scarlet Witch's outfit is very, very
Magneto-esque.
from Fassbender's version of Magneto. Very, very similar in kind of colors and design and texture, which again, maybe that's just, Disney trolling us and saying, haha, you guys are stupid.
Or they're leaving like Arjuna said. I think the more obvious reason is they're leaving the door open for if they want to go that route, they can do it.
Yeah. Hold
There's
the
also
door.
a report. There was
Hold the
also a
door.
report that came out a few days ago that there's more concrete plans for the next X-Men
Yes.
movie. It's rumored to be called Mutants.
Yeah.
So I think there's everything is possible and nothing is possible.
And then Christian,
thank you, Schrodinger.
your season-long prediction was Magneto will be referenced with metal.
Well, here's the thing.
Metal's probably in her outfit, so maybe you're right.
And
Ish.
Was Magneto referenced?
No.
No.
Not
I
at
don't
all.
think so. I mean, you could make an indirect reference with the appearance of Quicksilver, but the fact that he's Ralph Boner, I'm not Pietro.
So for me, my episode 9 prediction was Vision will fuse with his new body, and the kids won't survive.
You're half right.
Well, I feel
maybe,
like I was fully right because
No.
Vision
You weren't.
unlocked
You
Vision
weren't.
Hex Vision unlocked Vision and gave him back his memories. So that's
Doesn't
kind
have-
of fusing.
Doesn't have the hex memories.
How do you know?
Doesn't because he unlocked them. He didn't add memories.
We don't know that.
Yeah, it wouldn't make
But
sense.
that wasn't established.
We'll
It wouldn't-
revisit.
it
We'll
wouldn't make sense
revisit
either.
later. We'll revisit later for that. But I was right about the kids. They didn't survive.
Well, we heard them at the end of the in the end credit scene.
I'm sorry, I
they're
hear-
like this. They go, "Help!
I hear voices.
Help us!"
You know.
That's true. I mean, if anyone's
help.
crazy, it's probably Wanda.
Yeah.
That's true.
So, well, the kids that we saw, they are no longer with her. So therefore,
They're dead.
they have not survived.
All right. Well,
But were they real in the first place? I don't know.
I'll give you 50% on that one.
Thank you.
I'll give you 30.
And then my season-long predictions were Quicksilver shows up. I was right about that. So then I had to
Kind
make
of. It wasn't really Quicksilver.
That's true. And then I had said there was a
Boner.
bad version of Wanda. And that was, I don't know, that self. I guess that's
Maybe?
not really true. I don't know.
Because the Scarlet Witch, it almost the way that they did it in this show, in this season, show, makes it seem like it's a slightly different personality. Like it's a darker,
Dark
more
Phoenix
like a
type
more
esque,
assertive, and more assertive. Right, absolutely more assertive. Like Wanda herself is like, I don't know what's happening, and then when she has the Scarlet powers, she's like, oh, she's totally like badass. Like I know exactly what I'm doing.
Well,
don't
Agatha
know,
also
though.
drops the biggest red herring of all. At the end of their fight, she's like, "You have no idea what you've done.
Yeah.
You're going to need me." You
Right,
know, like there's
right.
very ominous, and Marvel-esque teasing of what's to come, and
Definitely
such.
definitely Dark Phoenix vibes for sure.
I wonder
Yeah.
if like the big play here is, now the Dark Phoenix, the energy force thing, is aware that there's this great power on Earth and is going to head to
Ooh.
Earth.
Yeah, and then take over.
Scarlet Witch or Jean Grey or somebody or Tom,
Well,
Dick, or
I,
Harry.
I think they are playing a little closer to the comics. I'm not as familiar with the Scarlet Witch arcs, but I do believe there is something more to the Scarlet Witch. I think Agatha specifically says it's something that's it's not something you're it's something you're kind of like bestowed upon or something. Like something that's kind of
it's
I
a,
forget
it's
the
a
exact
force
wording
that like
she-
chooses
Forged.
you. Yeah,
Yeah.
forged.
It's forged, right? That's correct. So it's an interesting choice of words, and I'm sure like hopefully Doctor Strange 2 kind of dives deeper into that type of stuff.
It didn't.
What if we're like over exaggerating her connection to Doctor Strange, and she's like
honestly, let's be real here.
She might.
We should like when Doctor Strange starts popping up.
they've been
we-
trolling us like that.
Yeah,
so
we should not
might as well-
look at the trailers and be like, "Oh, I think I saw the Scarlet Witch's cape in at a frame 43." Like none of that. We should just be like, "Okay, this is interesting. Wait for it, see it, and then shit on it."
What about the opposite, where they show where she's like seen in like 3 or 4 scenes? Should we not try and be
Nope,
like,
I'm gonna be
she's a
like,
main
"Nope,
character?"
that's a flashback."
Or like, yeah, those are the only 3 scenes that she's in.
Yeah,
You know,
or that. I mean,
cool.
we've seen that happen in movies a bunch,
Sure.
where it's like
Yeah.
the first remake of the Godzilla film. The trailer was filled with Bryan Cranston. He's dead within the first third of the movie, right? Like, there's all that shit. So I don't trust.
Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, I don't trust any of that shit anymore. Fuck it. Fuck that shit. Fuck it. Fuck him. Fuck him. Fuck him. Arjuna.
X-Men 3, Cyclops. You
Yeah,
know?
exactly. He was gone in the first 5 minutes.
Xavier dies too.
I
Jesus, they kill everyone.
thought that was shocking.
That was shocking, but it was also done in such a fucking annoying way for X-Men 3.
It wasn't like off screen too.
No, it was his girl kills him.
Yeah, but doesn't it actually happen
You
off
start
screen?
to see him vaporize, and then the next thing you see is his glasses floating and
yeah.
just mist everywhere.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of off screen, but not
It's
really.
implied, yeah.
Yeah.
Arjuna, your episode 9 prediction was Vision will stay dead and Wanda will say goodbye. That literally happened.
Boom.
Wanda
I mean,
will,
I
wait,
mean, the
Vision
show
will
was-
stay dead?
Well, he's dead.
Vision's alive.
Hex Vision is dead.
Yeah,
Hex
but
Vision.
Vision is literally alive.
But a version of Vision is dead.
Yes, a version is.
And
That's
she
true, I
did say
guess.
goodbye, and then he said,
Hello.
"Till we meet again."
You say goodbye.
I know.
say
Actually, he
hello.
actually literally said goodbye, my darling.
Oh.
Because I think
That's
Hex
the
Vision,
last line,
Hex
yeah.
Vision is
Or farewell, my darling, or something like that.
yeah, like he knows like this version of him is gone. But so I think what they're really trying to establish is the next version of Vision that we see will be something different, and I think that's the hopeful implication here. But it's just not like Vision's alive. and
Arjuna,
everything's
be really underpowered,
Arjuna, are
though.
they going to introduce it similar to the intro for Arrow where, what is it? It's like, I was on an island, I've come back, and I am now something else.
I
or
am
become
the
something
Green
else.
Arrow.
Yeah, that's how they're going to do it.
It'll be
I
Green
am the
Vision.
White Vision.
Yeah. Arjuna, your season-long prediction was there is no surprise actor, and all the references are to Paul Bettany. You nailed that one, you bastard.
Yep.
And
And he's gone.
he's frozen.
Arjuna was so happy with getting his season-long prediction correct. He has decided to play. What's a good game where you freeze like that? Freeze tag. He's playing freeze tag.
with himself.
Yeah.
Love
He's
it.
back. I think. I see his eyes moving.
I'm back.
There we go. So here's the question: What's next for the MCU? Right. So we've got Doctor.
Wait, I didn't get to take my victory lap for my season 1 prediction.
No, you took it.
That's
You
fine.
froze,
That's
and
your
that was
problem.
victory
Pay
lap.
for better internet next time.
I have great internet.
So for MCU, we've got Doctor Strange 2 coming out March something of 2022. So basically a lifetime from now. Spider-Man No Way Home is coming out
Christmas Day.
Christmas Day. Ooh, can't wait for Christmas. I just got hungry for like Christmas food. And then in terms of series, we've got Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That's obviously coming out in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Are we doing it week to week?
We'll talk about that off pod here.
We will at the very least do the premiere. And
Yeah,
then I
definitely
think
do the premiere.
decide there.
All right. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
In terms of other shows, is Loki and What If, is that happening this year or has that not been confirmed yet?
No, that is happening this year. Loki is happening, I think, first week of June, and then What If is a little bit later in the summer.
It's a lot of Marvel.
There's a Marvel gap, so we'll have Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and that will go right into Black Widow at the beginning of May. As of right now,
Ooh, and
obviously,
then
dates are subject to change, and I think there's going to be a break for Marvel content, and then early June you'll have Loki. Now, May you're going to have Bad Batch, as that's coming out May 4th,
which is Star Wars.
which is a Star Wars,
Star
thing,
Wars.
but also encompasses the Disney Plus obviously platform.
Right.
So I wonder if that's why there's that little gap at least.
For sure.
And then you'll have Loki. I believe you'll have What If. You'll have for movies. I believe there's supposed to be 4 Marvel movies. So I believe you also have Eternals and Shang-Chi that come out at some point this year. And then I think it finishes up with Spider-Man No Way Home.
That's
a
a lot.
yeah,
of
a lot
Marvel
of Marvel
stuff
stuff,
in 1
yeah.
year. I mean, I'm not complaining, but that's a lot.
We should
Well,
like
it's because Eternals and Black Widow were both supposed to come out last year, so they got pushed.
So
to,
they're just
to
putting
this
them in there. Yeah.
Hey,
That's fair.
and
I'm
according
okay with it.
according to Biden, most, if not all, Americans will be vaccinated or have the ability to get vaccinated sometime in May.
Oh, okay.
So it's very possible, fingers crossed, we can actually see these damn things on a big screen.
That would be incredible.
I was actually talking with someone recently. This is just a general question for you guys. We haven't been to a movie theater for for me. I've not been in one for about
A year.
13 months or something.
Yeah.
Over a year. I watch all my movie content on my TV. While I'm watching whatever, I have a phone. I can pause it. I can go to the bathroom. I can leave it and come back to it. Some people in this room watch Justice League and it took them 3 days. You have your variety in how you watch and consume content. With a movie now, if you guys remember, I know it's been a long time. You have to sit there.
Yes.
And you have to watch it. You can't talk to
It'll be
anyone.
glorious.
Yeah, it's
Glorious.
I'm actually kind of a little nervous to see if I can actually do it. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna have the attention span.
You have that.
I'm scared.
You have movie dysfunction.
Yeah,
You have MD.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm gonna reach for my phone and like get yelled at, or like talk to like one of you, and be like,
Yeah.
hey, did you see that thing?
Yeah.
Hey.
No, it's like riding a bike. As soon as you're in that theater and the lights go off and the sound comes up, it's like muscle memory. You'll be like, "Oh God, I'm engaged."
That's true.
I can't wait. I can't wait. This is how these like popcorn movies are supposed to be consumed. It's on the big screen.
Should we do a test run, like rent out a theater just for us?
I would love that.
And do like a quick test run, like we can pick.
Interstellar.
No, not Interstellar.
Why not? I love that movie.
It's so loud, and I hate
about
Christopher Nolan.
The cartoon version.
Not Tenet, no. How about the original Power Rangers movie?
Ooh.
Oh, how about the Clone Wars movie?
No.
Kill me. Let's finish up this pod, and then we can goof off with some of these hypotheticals here. Kids, I think it's that time.
Wow.
Arjuna, you are the youngest, and you have the fullest, realest beard mustache. So therefore, you can go first.
Ravi.
Ooh.
Should I ask both, or should I ask we're doing episode 9?
Yeah, we'll do both. We'll do both at once.
Ravi, was WandaVision episode 9 entitled the series finale and WandaVision the entire series good?
I'm gonna say episode 9 was not good, and the reason is, again, if you just look at the episode solo, very rushed episode. CG was all over the place. Certain plot points were just kind of not met, just kind of went nowhere. Certain characters were just kind of left to dangle. Didn't like that. As a series, I think it is good. It is a very good series. It's different. I think part of the problem with this show is, honestly, I think COVID fucked it over a little bit in terms of how it was released. We were presented Mandalorian, which was a great season just before this. And I think that kind of raised some expectations in terms of, this nonsense with a cameo, and then all the crazy fan theories. Again, this is their first time doing this on this kind of scale, this $200+ million budget. But as a whole series, I think, it's great. It's very interesting. It's very different. But that episode 9, that series finale, disgusting. No. Disgusting. Get out.
Wow.
Hey, you were just a hair shorter than Krishna's explanation 2 weeks ago.
I was not 3 minutes.
You were 2
You were
minutes.
6.
Oh, wow. Krishna, was episode 9 of WandaVision good, and was WandaVision the series good?
So I'll go with the episode first. I had the advantage of watching it twice, and I will say my second viewing was a lot better than the first. The emotional payoff at the end, it hit for me, and I got it even more the second time. That's what the show is about, right? That's what it was about. The action, let's be honest, it's Thor. It's up there with like Thor 2. It's the action. It wasn't, but that the crux of the show didn't rely on the action for me. It was more of the emotional arc. Right. I really did love the philosophical conversation between Vision and White Vision. Paul Bettany acting with himself, he nailed it. I'm glad he got to act with an actor that he's been dying to act with for his whole life. But it was great. In all honesty, though, I love that scene as well. So because I had the advantage of watching it a second time, and I think you guys would like it more the second time you watched it, I'm going to say yes, episode 9 was good.
I was hoping you'd be like, because of that, it's a no for me.
yeah. Well, that doesn't make sense.
Because I watched it one too many times.
And I'm going to say the season was absolutely good. Once you remove all of the theories that you wanted to happen, all the theories that you talked about, and you just look at it for what it is, it works. I was totally invested in the first 3 episodes. I love that sitcom format. I think I said that during those episodes. I was like, I bought in. They did some better than others. That was a fun experience for me. Trying to figure out what shows they were doing and sort of, how the reality meshed with the TV world that Wanda created. But again, it's that emotional arc, and it worked. It paid off for me. Like I said, for me, it's the best emotional moment in Marvel, and they nailed it. We go to Marvel movies to see the big action stuff, and usually we do. And this one was a little bit lacking in that. I'm trying to break my record, Ravi. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, the season was great. I loved it, and it was the first. Trying to play me off. Yeah, okay, and that's all we have. I'm just kidding. Arjuna, was WandaVision episode 9 and the season good?
Episode 9, I can't say it was good. I wasn't surprised by the finale. I think it was what we expected, especially coming out of the last few episodes. Definitely think it was the weakest episode of the show as a whole.
You forgot about episode 3.
I mean,
3 was bad. Well, it wasn't bad.
Three,
But it was,
three
3
was
was weak.
Three was a little. 3 was strange. 3 was. I mean, but you know what? The 70s were a strange time. So
That's a good point.
maybe you could just chalk it up to that.
I love it. Blame the decade.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly. Just playing the 70s. So yeah, I can't say the finale was good. I think the show. As I said at the top, it was very Marvel-esque. With this last episode, it played the familiar beats of the big action sequence, which I know, again, we talked about ad nauseum throughout our run of reviewing this show. And it just kind of didn't come together for me. As for the show, I can't say it was a good show, and I think.
Wow.
And the reason I say that, it was, you guys both mentioned, like, this was Marvel's first attempt at a show, and I still think they're figuring out how to do the week-to-week format, and I think that matters. And I think, in a lot of ways, I think they suffered because it was over, 8 weeks. Because the story that they told, I think, would be much better if it was binged, because I think that's what Marvel Studios is more comfortable with. And in some ways the added time obviously helped develop these characters a lot. Like, you got to spend a lot of time with Wanda, but I also think that this show might have benefited if it was a little bit shorter. I don't think we maybe even needed all 3 episodes, which probably totaled about an hour, right, if you remove the 15 minutes of credits at the end of each episode. To establish, those episodes really just established the premise, and they were pretty slow in comparison to kind of like the info dumps that we got in the later episodes. I think it could have been balanced out a little bit better. And I also think, we're in the golden age of television, and for me, my expectations are a little bit higher in terms of what we want from TV. So I can't say it's good, and I'm going to keep going longer because Ravi's he needs me to extend the time a little bit. So
You can break my record.
because,
You can do it.
Because of that, I really didn't like the headpiece. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, it's a no for me, dog.
Why did you just say that? What's wrong with you? Oh my God.
What a mic drop that was.
Oh. Yeah, so that's our review. That's the show, folks.
We did. I think we all had a different response to it.
Yeah.
Ravi was a no, yes. I was a yes, yes, and Juno was a no, no.
No, yeah, there you go.
No.
Quiet. Get out.
There we go. As always, thank you again for listening and tuning in with us. You can find us on Twitter at Was It Good, on Instagram at Was It Good BTM. We do live stream these pods every Monday and Friday on twitch.tv/Was It Good. Also have a YouTube channel with some fun and interesting content coming out. Also a website, wasitgood.info, with a newsletter coming soon. We will be back on Monday for Attack on Titan, another show that week over week disappoints.
What?
Just kidding. That show's fucking great.
Show yourself out, sir.
So we'll be doing that, and then following that pod, just a little tease, we will be doing Raya, the new Disney Disney animation film, which looks like a ripoff of Avatar: The Last Airbender. So
Wow.
excited for that. That will be next
Also,
Friday.
like a continuation of Moana. Like, the protagonist looks just like Moana.
Hey, there's only so many animation styles. And on that note, thank you for joining us, and goodbye. We're still live, Mr. Producer.
Oh man.
Yeah, we're still live.
What a crazy roller
Actually,
coaster
I wasn't going to tell
That's
you.
a roller coaster.
I wasn't going to tell you guys this,
I
but
loved
I
it.
feel like I should. So, a friend of mine is organizing the ArcLight in Hollywood to, when theaters reopen sometime in June, they want to do a dome showing of the new Mad Max movie.
Fuck yes.
So
I'm in.
I'm definitely going to get tickets.
Yes, I'm in.
Because
Oh my god.
I feel like if I'm going to finally watch this movie for
Yes.
real, I should do it on the big screen.
It is.
Dude, you're gonna
it
love
is,
it.
and
You're gonna
this is
absolutely
not.
love it.
This is not hyperbole.
Yeah.
It is one of the best cinematic experiences of your life.
That's
Oh, thank you.
hyperbole.
To me, it's a top 5 movie experience.
It's a top 3
one of-
action
one of
movie
those-
of all time.
Yeah, I was just watching it in a movie theater.
I recently rewatched it. Doesn't hold up.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't like it. I mean, it was okay. It was good, but it was not
It
amazing.
wasn't what you
No.
remembered. That sucks.
No. I also watched the black and white version, so maybe that had to do with it.
Oh, okay. I've never seen the.
Yeah, you're a guy that seems to like color more.
I do, actually. You're not wrong. No, it's true.
Nice. Cool.
I don't know
Yeah,
if that was racist or what.
That was a wild.
I just want to say WandaVision wasn't surprising, but that reminded me that a story doesn't need to be surprising to be good. Like, it's what I wanted it to be when I heard about it, and it was good. It was well told. It wasn't a big shocker, no huge twist. But so what? Does it need to? Do we just need a constant whiplash of surprise for good stories to happen?
That's true, and I think that's why I went with it was good because I got the payoff. I got the payoff. Not that I was wanted or was even looking for, but I got a better payoff in my opinion. The payoff I thought I wanted was an awesome action piece at the end, but in my opinion, the emotional payoff that hit for me, I was like, this is way better.
Yeah.
So yeah, ultimately that's why.
Goodbye,
I agree. I agree with you, Michael, in terms of like you don't need those twists. But where I disagree was I don't think it was a strong enough story to hold up without that.
I do.
I just think it was. I know you do. I know you do. And I respect your opinion. But for me, and the reason I went with no was I just thought it wasn't that strong of a story.
Hey, real quick, why the hell is your camera not working?
I don't know. I've tried the image. I think it just doesn't work.
Have you Googled this?
Hey,
Yes.
Twitch people, Twitch and YouTube. What kind of camera is it?
It's a Sony A6600. You should be able to plug it in via
his
the
computer.
USB cable, put it in camera mode on the camera,
Yep.
and then it should show up as a device in the image software.
Did you try?
Are you right-clicking on the little thing that lets you choose the camera in your software?
Yep.
Well, when you play it, it just goes straight to USB device.
Yep.
Here,
Yeah.
go. Do you,
I
have
even
the,
tried taking out the card. So
do you,
like,
wait, do you
there's
have the
nothing else
camera
for it
with
to
you?
do.
Yeah, let's do it right now live.
Oh, I know what it is. It's,
Ooh,
if you
yeah.
go into the menu setting, there's a setting there that says like USB. It's probably defaulting to storage device as opposed to like auto, so it'll only go storage.
So where do I find that in the menu?
That's I have to look at a camera. Hit menu and it's gonna be in like setup, like to the right.
It's almost like we could point it at the webcam that we're looking at and see the menu.
Could we? Oh yeah, we could do that. You want to just hold it up?
Amazing.
It's Pennywise on the bicycle again.
Yeah.
What does Pennywise say?
Hello.
Hello.
We all float down here.
Yeah.
No, that's that's the
kid.
brother. No, doesn't he say like, hello,
Hello.
hello, hello, play with the cloud?
Hi, Georgie.
Hi, Georgie. That's it. Hi, Georgie.
Hi, Georgie.
Hey, have Thad tune into the pod right now.
Oh God. He's gonna be like terrified of the mustache.
I assume he
attack.
already is.
The mustache attack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a new song. Mustache,
Mustache
attack.
I think we all
Why
know it,
must
by
you
the way.
need a mustache?
Oh, Junior's doing
Does it say USB?
Yeah, right there. Power supply.
I can't
But
read
that's
it.
power supply.
Wait,
It
yeah,
also has USB LUN setting.
yeah. Hit that one.
The
What-
LUN setting.
Yeah, hit that. And what does it go to?
Yeah, look, the USB connection, mass storage. It says it right there.
So hit that, and then what does it say?
Let's find out.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn this screen so I can see it.
Yep. The operator setting is not available as follows. Control with smartphone.
Maybe you need to plug
Wait,
it in
hit,
first.
hit OK. Go back to the other menu. Hi, this is Was It Good, where we do troubleshooting over USB. Because so hit. So wait, when you hit mass storage, it doesn't let you change that.
When I hit mass storage,
Yeah, it
it
pops
comes
up.
up with
Because it's not plugged into anything. It doesn't have anywhere else to go. Plug it into USB and then go to there.
Is it on camera setting right now? The camera icon, the video icon. Huh, that's weird.
Yeah, plug it in.
Can you plug it in?
Yeah,
Plug it in.
Hold on, I gotta unplug my mic.
All right.
You only have one USB port.
I can go get the cable for the second one, but before I was set up, I was using this one for the camera to play with it.
Gotcha.
All right,
Well,
I'm unplugging my mic.
Okay. While he's doing that, Krishna,
What's it good?
what
what's-
are you most excited for
Ooh.
in the next week?
In the next week?
Yeah.
And we're talking broad.
Just anything. What's the most exciting thing you have going in the next week?
Oh, I think that's fairly
Do you want to lower
easy.
his mic or June's mic in the meantime, just so we don't get that feedback? There we go.
I think the best, the most exciting thing I'm looking forward to, it's not close, in the next week, which is the next 7 days, is tomorrow. You should tune in right here on twitch.tv/whatsagood because we are doing a very special brunch edition of Dungeons and Dragons. And not just Dungeons and Dragons. This is Dungeons and Dragons Evil campaign.
Hold on, he's coming back in.
Yes.
Wait, so he came up with the same thing? Can you bring his mic back up, Learman?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
What the fuck? That doesn't make sense. Okay, go back one step.
Do you have a smartphone?
I can't imagine you can only control that setting through. And then what's the one?
There's seven screens I can scroll through.
Yeah, no.
select.
This is
7.
all. Hold on a second. PC remote settings, USB power supply on. Hey, where it says USB LUN setting?
Mm-hmm.
Hit that one, and what does that take you to? Single. Try single real quick. All right, now try hitting mass storage.
Yeah,
and
it's
see
not
if
grayed out anymore.
It is still grayed out.
Mass storage.
No, it's not.
It is.
Here, go back again.
Damn. This camera is fickle as fuck.
It's very fickle. I don't like it.
Does he need to turn his computer off and on again?
Maybe.
I've already tried that multiple times.
I don't think
Shit.
it has nothing to do with the computer at this point.
Is it a
Mass
broken drive thing?
USB connection.
What about PC remote settings?
Yeah, go to that one, Juna. PC remote. I love that our Twitch stream has now turned into troubleshooting.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I'm actually going to turn it off of YouTube and Facebook because we don't need this
Okay.
there.